So if you guys know me at all, you guys know that I love technology. And if I didn't run a video game channel, I probably would run a tech channel on YouTube. It's a very expensive hobby to have, but I love it so very much. But if you guys also know me at all, you guys know that I absolutely love video game capture cards because they are the backbone of any gaming channel on YouTube. I love reviewing them, I like testing them. Anytime a new one comes to market, I'm just itching to try it out. And in today's video, we're going to be checking out the Magewell 4K Plus USB capture card via HDMI, the device that I've been using for the last couple of days now. And in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing it, giving you guys my impression. So hopefully guys enjoyed the video. So if you've ever used any other USB external capture card on the market, you'll feel right at home with the Magewell 4K Plus. It has all the options that you would expect. One thing that I did note is that it does have exceptional build quality. It feels expensive in your hand to hold. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but it feels like and sounds like it's made out of a solid aluminum, which is a really nice thing to have. Anytime your electronics feel expensive, it just makes you a little bit happier on the inside. So on the front cover, you'll see that there is a cutout for a fan. I'm assuming because you're passing a 4K signal, the device can get a little bit warm, so the fan is used to kind of keep things cool. It's not overly loud. I actually couldn't hear it at all when I was recording long-term sessions with it. So it's not annoyingly loud like the 4K Blackmagic device that I recorded or reviewed years ago. That thing was annoyingly loud. You can't hear this one at all. In terms of its input, it has everything that you would expect, an HDMI in and out on the left-hand side. On the other side, you have the USB slot that you hook it up to either your laptop or your PC, headphone monitors so you can monitor the audio coming from the gameplay, as well as a 3.5mm input for a microphone. That generally isn't used a lot by streamers because they would like to have higher end professional XLR microphones to use. But if you are at an event and you want to record commentary directly to your footage via a 3.5mm jack, that is an option for you. But yeah, I really do dig the build quality and the fact that it does feel expensive to hold. So just as with every external capture card, the main benefit of this device in comparison to, let's just say, the Elgato 4K 60 that I reviewed a couple weeks ago, is that you can pretty much take this device anywhere you want. You can take it to an event, you can hook it up to a laptop, you can take it on the go and record pretty much anywhere you want. In comparison to the 4K 60 that requires a desktop computer, that requires a free PCI lane, and it actually requires fairly up-to-date and modern hardware for the device actually to work in case of the 4K 60, where this one just requires less resources and less investment into other equipment to get it to function properly. If you're diving into the realm of 4K gameplay capture, there are a couple things that this device cannot do. The first being is that it cannot record high dynamic range or HDR, which is to be expected. There is no capture card on the market right now below the $1,000 mark that can record high dynamic range or HDR. And probably its biggest thing that I wasn't really disappointed in, because I knew when I requested the device that it was not an option, is that this device cannot capture 4K at 60 frames per second. It maxes out its recording at 4K 30 frames per second, and this is due to the fact that it uses USB 2.0 cables in order to connect to your laptop or PC. There's just not enough bandwidth in 2.0 to capture a 4K 60 signal, but like I said, I knew that before the review unit even arrived. At the time of recording this video on B&H, this device checks out at $460 US, which in terms of 4K capture equipment isn't a lot, but in terms of just actual money, that is still a large chunk of change to invest into equipment. And if they had just, I don't know, if they would have just maybe included a USB Type-C connector to get us that 60 frames per second recording at 4K, it honestly would have been an instantaneous buy for me because it would have just been absolutely perfect. To me, HDR isn't a huge deal. Not a lot of capture cards on the market can do HDR, especially with YouTube video compression. HDR isn't the biggest deal. It's not a deal breaker, but not being able to record 60 frames per second is really something I don't think I can give up. Despite being limited to recording at 4K 30 frames per second, it can still pass through a 4K 60 signal to your TV or your monitor, so you'll still be playing at the native resolution as well as the native frame rate. And in all honesty, it does exactly what it sets out to do in terms of performance. It records flawlessly, absolutely flawlessly. I have no qualms about its recording capability. I played 3 separate 2-hour sessions of Destiny straight, so 6 hours of footage total, and I reviewed the footage after, put them into editing software, and there were no frame rate drops, there were no audio desyncs, everything just worked out flawlessly. And yeah, it does everything it sets out to do. I just really wish it could do 60 FPS. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for my review. Short and sweet review of the Magewell 4K Plus HDMI USB capture device. It is an exceptional device. It works exactly as intended. I was honestly almost in disbelief that you could pass through and record any 4K signal at all using USB 2.0, but this device definitely proved me otherwise, even though it does not have the 60 frames per second capability. In terms of gameplay, that is a big deal breaker for me, but if you're a person who doesn't record gameplay, let's just say you're a filmmaker and most films are recorded at 24 frames per second, I do highly recommend this device if you need something on the go. It just does everything well as expected. Basically everything that it sets out to do, which is all you can really ask for in electronic. If every product worked exactly as it's advertised to do, the world would just be a much nicer place. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. I'll be doing more 4K capture card reviews in the future because I'm kind of on this 4K kick. So you guys can look forward to that. So if you enjoyed, as always, drop the video a quick thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time. As always, have a blessed day.